Stick around to the end of the video. I have two announcements, one of which I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. Let me ask you something. How often do you lie to yourself? And by that I mean, how often do you edit and adjust what it is you honestly want to express? So anyway, there's a saying, I can't remember which philosopher or writer said it, but he said, it's rare that we lie to others, mostly we lie to ourselves. I've always thought that was really profound, and it was at the heart of shame and guilt and censoring yourself and never being able to speak up and wishing you had in retrospect. Just think about it. How often are you just casually conditioned to lie to others, but really to yourself? And okay, I understand completely. I get it. We lie to keep our families, our jobs, our marriages, a roof over our head, a lot of things. But over time, just think of the effect that has. When lying to yourself becomes just a harmless tactic, it's part of the rudimentary day-to-day. Or think about it this way, the world continues to give us access to their toys as long as we lie. Think about what that kind of conditioning of lying does. Thinking about every word you say, stopping yourself and editing yourself. And not because of civil politeness or tact, but because words are banned. There's a way to speak. Even if you want to express something, you aren't allowed to. More than that, you can't express the words to even go in that direction. We're lying more and more to ourselves because the world has the sensitivity of a traumatized child. But the most important, salient thing I'd like you to consider, gentlemen, is what lying, that conditioning, what it does to a man over time, over the course of his life. As human doings, we have a very tactile, scientific, experimental, truth-based, empirical approach to life to make sense of it and, more importantly, our place in our own world. In reality, so for instance, despite being innately heterosexual, I'm conditioned to lie that, oh yeah, Caitlyn Jenner looks hot. I'm attracted to this kind of person even though I'm not. Fat is beautiful. High is low. Low standards are just as good as high standards. Everybody gets a medal. I can't judge. I can't discern. What happens to a man because he wants to be kind and nice and not hurt anybody's feelings? And what happens over time to that man as he overcompensates so as not to hurt gynocentric insecurities? I'll tell you what happens to you as a man over time when you lie about reality, repeating things that you know aren't true, dulling your embarrassment of that, thereby being okay with lying over and over again. So what happens to a man over time? He feels ashamed. Let that sink in. What continual lying and censorship and editing your thoughts and all of that kind of stuff does to you? It makes you feel ashamed and humiliated. And the more one privately feels more and more humiliated over time, as though they're acting in an awful movie that they can't get out of, acting for others in a movie that frankly disgusts you and embarrasses you, the more impotent a man becomes, the more invisible he is, not only to others, but to himself, especially to himself. Don't empty yourself like this, gentleman. Don't lie to yourself. Because over time you do this, there will be nothing left. Case in point, how many cliched stories do we hear of men emptying themselves out for women's lies? Yeah, I love doing this too. I love doing that too. Lying and lying just to get along, to be nice. And at the end, you are scooped out and there's nothing left of you. Be honest as often as you can, gentlemen. I'm not saying be reckless, of course. If you can lose your job, you'll be homeless and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But generally, we can be a lot braver. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Let me know your comments below about the notion of being so politically correct more and more with the censorship of language. You can't say this. It's not only the topics, but the words. And what that does to you over time, how impotent you feel, how much you kind of give up. And you just distract yourself with entertainment. How much that flame dies inside. And more importantly, what happens to you over that protracted course of your life. The more you condition yourself to lie to you, not necessarily to the world, to you, what that does to you over time. And the bonus thing I wanted to tell you was, I give you my word, the Spetsnaz conversation I had where him and I did a joint Q&A with many of your questions that you generously gave to me in my community section. I give you my word, it will be published in the next couple of days by this weekend. That's the first bit of good news, which I'm sure most of you will be saying finally. And the second bit of good news is that I'll be having another Q&A on Wednesday night, midnight, which is really 12 a.m. Thursday morning. You guys seem to enjoy it, and I really have a lot of fun doing it. So I'm aiming to do the live chats twice a week, Thursday, 12 a.m. and Saturday afternoon. I'll post the times beforehand in my community tab or stories section in my YouTube channel, but I'll see you then, gentlemen. Anyway, again, let me know your thoughts on this topic regarding the notion of censoring yourself, muting yourself, and what that does to you over time. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I'll talk to you soon, gentlemen. Bye. If you appreciate my work, feel free to support me. Links on my channel. Thank you.